Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about Chu Han. And once again, the great Steph Hodge, steps in to do a run through. There's a link for it down in the show notes. What is this? This is based on real, Chinese Warring Dynasty history. It's from a designer, Tom Lehmann, and it's what is commonly referred to as either a ladder climbing or a card shedding game, where every round, at the beginning of a round, players have a huge hand of cards numbered 1 to 6, if I recall correctly. And if you're the lead player, you look at your hand and say, I'm going to play 3 2s. And so that's your opening bid. And now I've got to beat that bid, which means I have to have 3 of a number higher. I have to have 3 3s or 3 4s or 3 5s or whatever it might be. Actually, the numbers go up to 9, if I recall, from 1 to 9. And there are fewer higher numbers, many more low numbers. So you can see, they just, played 3, but then, all right, so it's played 3, but then, played another. And what you're trying to do is you want to play your cards as fast as you can so that you can empty your hand. Because the first player to empty their hand scores points based on how many cards their opponent was not able to get rid of. So the faster I can get rid of my cards while you've still got cards you're trying to get rid of, the more points I'm going to score. Like there, Michael just had a big run on Stephanie because Michael was able to maneuver things so that he had a lot of combinations he needed to get rid of cards, and Stephanie could not beat any of his combos. But don't worry, Stephanie might make a comeback later on as you watch this run through. Actually, this was an incredibly dramatic run through. I watched all the way from start to finish. There were a lot of highs and lows in that one. But anyway, so there are ladder climb games have been around forever. They're like trick-taking games and all that. There's a million iterations of it. It's a classic game design format. So what does Chu Han bring to this? Well, designer Tom Lehmann has done several cool things. And it was Tom Lehmann that made me want to try this out because I respect him so much as a designer. He's just one of the greatest designers of all time. And while I'm not particularly interested in this style of game, I wanted to see it from him for a few reasons. One, it's 2-player only. And these games traditionally are for bigger groups. So a game that works well as a 2-player only ladder climbing game, and I should say right now, it is a phenomenal game. It is a brilliant design. It knocks it out of the park. Fans of the genre might say, this is one of the greatest ladder climbing games of all time, quite frankly, if you're looking for 2-player only. So I thought that was really interesting. And the way it works as a 2-player game is, I described the basics of how ladder climbing games work, but here, all your 3s and all your 6s have special powers. The 2s have special powers as well. But more importantly, Michael just led, or Stephanie just led with 3 1s, right? So Michael's got to beat that with 3 2s. Maybe he can. He doesn't have 3 2s or 3 of anything. Before you play, but he did. He played 3 3s there, it looks like. And now Stephanie's got to beat him with 3 4s or something. And what you can do is, on every turn, you can take a RIT, which is a penalty token that says, draw 2 more cards. And so what Chu Han does is, it adds push your luck to ladder climbing. Every turn, you can take a RIT, which lets you draw more cards so you can build more combos or get more of those cards that you can play for special powers that might turn things around in your favor. But every time you're taking more of those cards, it's a risk, because if you don't get those cards played, that's going to be more points your opponent gets if they empty their hand first. And the RIT itself, the little token, that's also a point they're going to gain if you do it. So if I take a bunch of RITs, but then you still beat me, I've given you a bunch of extra points. But the more RITs, and therefore the more extra cards I draw and push my luck, the bigger a hand I get, the more likely I am to be able to combo and turn things around and push things in a different direction. Plus, on top of that, at the beginning of every one of these rounds, they just started, there's a new event that creates new rules that we have to pay attention to for this round of the game. It's crackerjack. And that's no surprise. Tom Lehmann pretty much never fails to deliver the goods. And, I could see why, if you are a fan of this style of game, you're going to love it. Spoiler, Stephanie and Michael loved it. And if you watch their run through, you'll see why. My wife actually liked it quite a bit. I think for her it would be a keeper. If you watch the Gen Jog she filmed the month, she explains why she really dug it. She kind of played games like this as a child and stuff like that with her family. Me, I don't like it at all. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to like it going in, but I just wanted to see this fusion of push your luck and ladder climbing, because I had played other ladder climbing games before. I wanted to see a great two-player only ladder climbing game, which this totally is. And I'm always up for seeing whatever Tom Lehmann does, because he's just so freaking brilliant, this man. But at the end of the day, a ladder climbing game, like a trick-taking game, is every single turn me trying to figure out, right, how best can I ruin your plans? How best can I outmaneuver you so that I box you in and trap you and then just make a run on you that destroys you? And you get to do that a lot in this game. And for me, I take no pleasure in that. But if you like card shedding, ladder climbing games, if you're looking for a two-player game, maybe the best one of all time, quite frankly, or one of the greats, I think this is going to be one of those games that like teach you. People are still playing, obsessively, a decade from now. You might want to check out number 16 of the month, Chu Han. Okay. And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.